Welcome back to Solynod Hex, everybody. Today we're holding session 292, and today's session is sponsored by our patrons. Thank you, patrons, for your generous pledges. We would not have
Thank you.
We wouldn't have dynamic lighting without you. Players, this time go ahead, if you haven't already done so, click on your main character's token. Hold the shift key and double click on your token to open up your character sheet quickly without having to access your journal. And go ahead and add 292 points for showing up on time. Thank you very much for showing up on time, and also for being patient enough to stay through my 1 hour of technical difficulties. So I'm going to give you guys an extra bonus for that. That was pretty much 60 painful minutes. I was having trouble with Discord. It wasn't updating correctly, and I had to find ways to delete all my Discord-related files by hand, which was kind of a pain. It took me an hour. So I'm going to grant you guys 6,000 experience points for being so patient. Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Woo.
Thank you. Wow.
Yeah. That was a pain in the beep for me, and I'm very appreciative of your patience. That is my number one concern. Let's see. When last we left off, we had our adventurers in the Malaika Oasis. Right here. So for our viewers, most of the time, bonus like 6,000 points is just a drop in the bucket because we are playing AD&D 2nd Edition. It is not like the newer editions of Dungeons & Dragons. Leveling up takes a very long time because it takes a lot of points. And 6,000 points is really nothing once you get up to level 7, level 8. That's...
Don't hurt though.
It's a bit over 1% of what is required for leveling for my character, for example.
Yeah, his character is level 10 right now, and he needs 250,000 points to go from level 10 to basically level 12. He skips level 11. He goes straight to level 12. And yeah, for dragons, it can be a pain in the diak. To level up, and you know, losing an hour of gaming is a pain too. So I'm guessing that leveled you.
No, I'm
Almost, yeah.
less than 900 XP to leveling.
Outstanding. So you're pretty much
Guaranteed.
gonna level. Yeah, pretty much guaranteed.
Roleplay a
Okay.
handful of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. When we ended our session, I think you guys had just finished an encounter with 6 boulets. On was kind of swimming directly over this hole in the center of the pond in the oasis, and maybe was acting like a fishing lure of sorts, and attracted some boulets. 5 of the 6 were defeated, and 1 of them escaped. Their carcasses are strewn about the shore of the pond. And when we left off, we had... Mad Moen was probably continuing to remove his armor so he could bathe and probably clean it. He's having a tough time in the desert. He's getting exhausted because of the heat. He's wearing full plate armor, which isn't the best choice in such a hot environment, and it's really taking a toll, like, on his health. He's taking 1 hit point of damage per day because of his armor. So he kind of wants to ditch it, or not really ditch it, but kind of stow it somewhere. And he's kind of looking around at these camels and stuff and seeing who has, like, the most room, if they have any pack camels or pack saddles or whatever. And as he's, like, undoing his wing nuts on his helmet and stuff, taking his helmet off, and full plate is pretty much bolted on. Like, that's why it takes so much time to put it on. Except for a few bits like the gauntlets and maybe the greaves and the sabatons. The rest of it's pretty much bolted on, and the person who wears it is nearly helpless to get out of it without cutting braces and straps and stuff like that with a dagger or something in an emergency. But he's kind of like struggling to stretch to reach, you know, belts and buckles and things, but he's taking it off safely without cutting it. And he looks really, really sweaty and dehydrated. He looks like he's lost about 10 pounds since you guys met him in Nervia City. And his eyes are sunken in real bad. He's got dark rings around his eyes. He's very dehydrated. Looks like he's about to have a heart attack pretty much. And he's got some like dried, crusty white stuff, like yuck mouth in the corners of his mouth. And kind of like an exhausted horse or a really thirsty camel. And he's having a rough time. Okay, next up is Gromnar and company. Paul, are you there?
I am here, but I have absolutely no clue what I would like Gromnar to do at this point, so he's gonna go back.
Well, Gromnar was still yelling about the dude wanting to sell.
That was funny.
Yes, indeed.
Oh no, that idea left his brain. We got in a fight, and now he's totally distracted by something else.
Oh, like ADD type of thing?
I mean, I know you don't like stuff like this, but I try to play Gromnar to his chaotic neutral a lot.
Yeah, no, I like stuff like that.
I meant revealing it, but yeah, Gromnar is the way he.
Yeah.
So
Quick
he will.
reminder, Josh. Okay.
Say again?
He will drag his doggy in the water, and he will start playing and swimming.
Okay.
You had, at the end of last session, lost access to roll 20, but you were going to put Jim's magical vestments on the turn order tracker for 25 rounds.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Let's see. Where is Jim?
He's about 10 square or 15 squares north of the Oasis.
Okay. Oh, and you gave him a yellow dot? Okay. It's called Magical Vestments.
Or vestment, singular, I think.
Okay, Magical Vestment. And +1. Add. And you said 75 rounds?
85.
85? Okay, 85 rounds. All right.
25.
25. Okay.
Yes. positive 5 rounds, you say?
Okay. So it should be on the very bottom of your turn order tracker. Yellow dot, Jim's magical vestment, -25, and it will count upwards towards 0. The 0 round is the final round of the spell. Once it gets to +1, then it's over. Okay. Anything else from Gromnar and Company?
Nope.
Okay. Time now is 6:12 p.m. January the 21st, 11:85. Everyone's tired, hungry, and thirsty. The oasis seems fresh, like it doesn't smell salty or anything. And I mean, there's some things floating in it at the edge, you know, but towards the middle, it looks really clear. Like, you guys can even see the hole where the water is spewing out of, you know, from a distance. And it's kind of like blowing the sand up and away from the hole. So the hole is pretty much like solid stone almost at this point. Any soot has kind of traveled away because of the movement of the water, and you can feel the water quickly evaporating. Though the temperature right now is starting to drop as the sun recedes behind the edge of the world. Okay, blue dot is Jim's Bless, still has 4 rounds left. There's another blue dot for Cirrus's Detect Magic. That's just on Cirrus. Cirrus is not affected by Bless, of course.
Yep.
Okay, first up is Teneroth. So he is on the turn order tracker twice because I just added him. Because I didn't realize he was already on there. Okay. So, Asher, a familiar-looking type of face begins to approach you from the east. It's a male of your race, and he comes up to you and says, you know, turn my voice on here. Hopefully, Discord hasn't lost the settings for my, actually it probably has. For my voice changer, but we'll see. This voice changer takes forever to open. Okay.
Okay, do I sound like an elf?
A very manly elf, but yeah.
I have a high-pitched voice right now?
Yeah, a little bit.
Very manly
How,
elf.
how about now? Do I sound really high pitched?
Now it's
Sounds
like.
nice
Now
like
it's
a
a
Okay.
pixie.
Okay, so Teneroth comes up to you, Asher, and he says, hello, are you Asher?
Yeah.
Goody gumdrops.
Or gumdrops, yep.
Goody gumdrops. As you can tell, I'm a fairy elf. I hail from the royal family of Lucilia City. Have you heard of Lucilia City?
Lucilia City! And she, like, throws her arms in the air, and she's like, oh, Rose home!
I assume that you hail from Lucilia City as well?
Yes, how are things? How's the Kaihana family? And that's the first time anyone's ever heard Asher's last name.
Oh. Would you like to add that to your character sheet?
I'm doing it right now.
Okay.
She has not been very forthcoming
The
about her history.
Kaihana family? Let's see. The family of scribes. Yes.
Yes.
They're doing well at the library and, copying books and whatnot.
So them.
Your parents and siblings, I assume?
Yes.
Yes, they're doing quite well. I see them quite often, when I, doing my research and whatnot. But anyway, back to business. I'm, as a member of the royal family of Vasilia City, I've quite a business proposition for you. I was wondering if you'd like to go into business, fencing your group's wares. I've heard that you have had some trouble in Nervia City selling off your wares, and we could set up a system of smugglers and whatnot in order to do so a little bit more efficiently.
Where is that discussion being held? Am I on a hearing distance?
Yes.
Okay, alright. I'll listen.
Liking the sound of this. Say more.
Yes, I've come across a group of men and, another grey elf and a couple of halflings and a gnome, who are all experts at one thing or another. And, they would serve as your supply line to me. I'm your end user of your business, of course, and I'd be able to sell your wares. I'd keep the smugglers quite supplied with funds so that they could, purchase these items directly from you and then smuggle them to me, and, I'd keep your business alive, of course, at my end. Making it quite efficient for you on your end, I suppose, being in the wilderness and being able to sell off your wares.
Yeah, we frequently were bogged down with all of this loot, which, is a good problem to have, but if I could just, if somebody would come across and take it off my hands for vast amounts of wealth, even better.
Oh, yes. The thing is, you see, being such a vast distance from, my base of operations, your group would probably need some sort of, transportation. By transportation, I mean a small ship of sorts. At this time, I've no real way to fund the construction of a ship. I was wondering if you could help me out in that area.
Asher kind of eyes him, and she says,
Of course, you would be the sole owner, and then the smugglers would be the operators. And, yes, you could choose your captain from among them. There are quite a few good, men to sail your boat for you. Smugglers, of course. And, they could take care of the whole transportation issue between you and Vasilia City.
and Asher is looking a little more skeptical, and she says, I was I was on board until some stranger in the wilderness just wanted money. Like, what assurances do I have that this is legit?
Well, you do have my word as the second son of King Pasilion of Lasilia City. But I suppose... Let's see, what could I do? I've got my family signet ring I could leave with you until your first contact with the smugglers?
Asher nods. That'll do.
Okay. My father would kill me if he knew I was doing this, but yes. Here's the ring.
He like pulls off one of his gloves, and underneath it, you see, I think, 2 rings. One of them around his ring finger. Yeah, on his left hand. One of them around his ring finger. It looks like a gold band. And then there is a signet ring around his middle finger. That's a thicker ring. It's got like a stamp on it for sealing envelope wax.
Does it look familiar to Asher?
Yeah, you can tell that it has something to do with the royal family of Lasilia City, but you don't have heraldry, so you can't really tell like whose ring exactly it is.
She for sure is pretending that she knows exactly what this is.
Yeah. And yeah, he pulls that sucker right off and he gives it to you.
Asher drops it in her belt pouch.
Okay. And he kind of nervously looks at your belt pouch, and he's like,
Oh, please, ma'am, do take good care of that. My father will string me up if he knew that I just handed that thing off.
Get it back I'll take care of it, and you'll get it back as soon as I have proof that this isn't a shakedown.
Yes, of course. So, what size of ship do you want me to procure for you, for your smuggling operation?
I'll be honest, I'm a bit new to this. Do you have a recommendation?
Yes, well, I would suggest, at least, a caravel. A galleon would be a bit spendy. They're about 50,000 gold coins to contract, but a caravel is a bit more affordable, as it were.
Bravery hears this one. Can I act, or do I have to wait for my turn?
You can comment on anything you can hear.
Okay. You hear from distance. 50,000. Why wouldn't we use just a portal? The goods probably wouldn't be suffering from aging a year. It would just turn into antique for more money.
What? What's that got to do with building a boat?
There's no need for both if we can just portal the goods. It's just like heaving it up the next room.
Sorry, what?
You have to talk to our wizard. He's the transportation expert.
Oh, you mean like with spells?
I believe it is a spell.
Interesting. Well, unfortunately, thieves can't cast spells, so I fail to see what your point is. Anyways, let's see
So,
here.
Caravel, we're talking 10,000 for that, yes?
Yes, quite less expensive than the galleon. Let's see, where's the galleon? Yeah, galleon's 50,000. Yeah, quite less expensive than the galleon and the Great Galley. The Caravel is a fairly seaworthy vessel. It's a bit smaller. I think it's a little more to your liking, as the crew required is quite less, and the storage capacity is probably a bit a bit more along the lines of your adventuring party's rate of acquirement, as it were. And it's quite a quick vessel and fairly seaworthy, as I've mentioned.
I've got just under half of that on me, but we've got lots of loot here we just haven't divided yet. So I don't know if I should pay you later or if we should divide the loot now. When are you hoping for this money?
Well, sometime within possibly the next year or so.
Absolutely.
We could probably do all the transportation by land until then. It may be a little slower, but the visits from your smugglers may be a little less frequent. But yes, we could probably do everything by land. We're not too terribly far from Lacilia City yet, though you are headed south, are you not?
Yes, always south.
Yes, so...
Very quickly whispers to Bookieville. Bookieville, what is that? Why is he calling the traders and caravanners smugglers? Is that a local term?
And Boogieville, cocks his head a little bit and he says, no, he gets smuggler to smuggle away the things that we find, that we take, and then by smuggling them, and then they sell them, and then they give her back the money.
But that sounds like a trader. That sounds like a trader.
Well, legitimately, I think that they can be called traders, but these aren't legitimate, okay? Yeah.
Ah.
And that should be enough for Tinroth's turn.
Okay. Next up is Asher and Company.
So Asher asked Tinroth,
And
do you have
actually,
capacity? Yeah.
Tinroth becomes one of your characters now. And can be edited and controlled by Asher.
Asher asked Tinroth, do you have any capacity to take things off our hands right now?
Why, yes, of course, that's why I'm here, so anything that you could, part with at this time from your, personal cut of the loot, and anything that you could spend towards that Caravel would, expedite things. And like I said, of course, you would be the sole owner of the Caravel. And could use it for, whatever you prefer. Transportation across the ocean, of course. Perhaps one day.
So Asher looks back at the group and says, "Hey guys, I want to sell our stuff, okay?"
Okay.
As long as I get my cut.
Absolutely. And so she elaborates a little bit more. She's like, obviously we'll keep the money and stuff and divide that as appropriate, but all of like this, all the chainmail and the swords and the dragon hide and stuff we're carrying around, I want to give to this guy, and then we'll divide the money when it comes back. How's that sound?
Oh, well,
As
I,
long as we do a pass on it first, if there's something usable.
Is he gonna say?
well, I could probably afford to pay you for whatever you have at this time, but,
Yes.
you know, being me,
I like you, Tenoroth.
being me, you know.
So, Jim is going to jog up and grab the camels. 6.
I yell to... Ceres yells to Asher, keep some of the dragon hide to barter with the barbarians.
Okay.
Sarah's, if you need cut, Gromnar help you.
Sarah's, don't do it.
I'm slacking here. There we go.
And that'll be the end of Jim's movement, and I'm going to do some maths while I'm waiting my next turn.
Okay. Next up is On, who continues swimming about, naked, I think. Next up is Ceres.
Gromnar, you wanna help me make some friends?
You not make friends on. That makes sense. You insult people.
No, I can make friends too. Gromnar help, right?
Sure, Gromnar help. They call you little, but they little.
Yes, I am little, but littler than them, but bring me some of the dragon hide and come to where I go. Okay, Gromnar?
Little
And
does
we'll make-
Gromnar know he just completely and totally signed up to be a slave.
And we'll make some friends. And they won't call me little anymore. After I get Gromnar's agreement, I'm going to make my way to the chief's, to outside of the chief's tent.
You hear this like grunting from inside. And inside you can see, you know, a bunch of barbarians kind of sitting around this larger, more muscular but aged barbarian.
Do I see any magic on them, by the way?
No, none, actually.
None on any
Yeah,
of them.
none
Wow.
on any of them. Yeah, that you've come across. So, just so you know, in order to actually use that once you cast a spell, you have to like stand there and concentrate, and it gives you a 10-foot wide path of magic that you can detect in. It doesn't automatically like show you sparkling, magic items.
Well, I wasn't gonna go in this turn, so
Yeah. It does count as a innate magical ability right now because you already cast the spell like several minutes ago. So you can do a full move and still use it.
yeah. So I'm gonna stop here for now until Gromnar hopefully remembers what I've asked him to do.
Yeah. And of course, no magic. Even on the like older one, the older guy. Even on him and his personal belongings inside the tent. It's kind of maybe taking you aback. Like, why don't they like magic? Okay, next up is Brian Druid and company.
Well, I'll continue from her previous discussion with Boogieville. So, Boogieville, so you mentioned that it's illegal the trade. What do you mean? Can you explain? That means that there must be a law against transporting the goods that we have obtained.
Well, look, see, now, there's a man, there's laws they make to prohibit and keep people to do certain things, and these guys don't care about whether they do the right things, they just want to get the money.
Shouldn't we do the right thing?
No.
Why?
And she's looking. He is looking at you like, are you high on crack? You know, it's like, it's like because they tell us what to do and they try to control us, and then this one, like, it costs 5 times as much to go and do it legally, and we can make so much more if we don't. It's just do it the illegal way. It's just easier.
So are you saying to me that if we are finding a 1,000 gold painting and we are taking it in, it will cost us 5,000 gold?
I'm not really good with the numbers.
Tinneroth pipes up and says, he hears this conversation. He's like laughing and like shaking his head, kind of giggling to himself. Oh, is my voice changer still on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't.
I totally thought I turned it off. Okay. But yeah, he says,
No. It's only illegal if you steal the items. The paintings and statues and things that you get out of dungeons are completely legal. It's just you've got this group set up to expedite selling them off now. So...
So then they are not really smugglers, they are traders.
Well, I mean, they've been smuggling up until now.
If they are redeemed, then everything is good.
Fair enough.
and he just goes back to talking with Asher.
He goes,
that was brain druid.
Okay.
that Boogiewell is not finished, and Boogiewell goes, so if we call it this, it's okay as long as we call it that.
No,
Okay.
it
Yeah,
became
I
very,
get
it became very clear that they are redeemed because they are. You just said that they are not breaking any law.
Okay. He's still looking at you.
So we need to just verify if any of the items that we are sending are against, and then tell them to declare them, I guess.
Yeah, declare them.
See, I really don't care as long as I got mine. So, yeah.
And next up is Calamar and Company.
Calamar is taking, was taking Varen, but Varen's not here today. But he was taking him over to let him rest and gonna get the fortress for him. He goes, hey Asher, Asher, do you think you can like put up the fort and stuff? Because Varen needs to rest. I mean, like, look at him. He's dead practically.
Varen is nowhere to be found.
Oh. Well, that'll be nice. So we just ignore that, and so Olivia was talking to Calamar, and he goes, so I should go up and talk to him, or should I just leave him alone, or I don't know. I don't know what to do. I want to meet him and all, but, you know, I don't know how he feels. You know, would he consider it common? Would he consider it to be, I don't know. And Calamar goes, hey, you're an elf and this guy's an elf, you should meet. And Olivia is like, face palm.
Okay. Anything else from Calamar and Company?
Nope.
Alright, so this fire right here is beginning to spread. And it goes like this.
I thought the ground was wet and everything.
Yeah, but the vegetation is, you know, able to catch fire. And, let's see, Asher, Tinneroth, Mad Moen, they can all feel this intense heat intensifying. Yeah. Yeah. And Anna's like, oh my god. And he starts like splashing water onto the fire. Okay. Mad Moen, he kind of backs away from the fire and puts his pieces of armor down that he's already you know, taken off. And then he grabs his axe and he comes down here to the water. And he uses the axe kind of like a paddle or like a golf club to splash water up onto the fire. And the fire starts to shrink. And he gets it down to this many squares. Come on. There we go. Oh, there's another fire underneath it. Okay. Gets it down to 1 square. Not so intense. And next up is Gromnar and Company.
So, Ramnar is going to make his way into the midst of all these camels and start looking around for a dragon.
Dragonhide?
Well, obviously the dragon's hiding. That's why he's looking for
it. Who had the Dragonhide?
I have no clue, and I would translate that into Gromnar having no clue. So he's looking for the hiding dragon in amongst all these camels.
Well, it would be kind of piled on one of the camels, wouldn't you see it?
I mean, the only dragon he knows isn't hiding, and that's Brian Druid.
You can see that Delta has like 11 squares worth, 11 medium creatures worth of blue dragon skin heaped onto his pack saddle. That's this one right here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb as Gromnar and say, Saris, that's too big for Gromnar.
Sarah's is too far away.
Who, I was gonna say, who of course cannot hear Gromnar because he's so far away.
I try.
Yep. Yeah, too far away.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely too far away.
Alright. Anything else from Gromnar Company?
I assume it has some kind of bridle, lead rope, something of that nature.
Oh, Delta?
Yes, being a pack camel.
Sure, I just let him in. We haven't even taken off any of his stuff. It's right there, hanging from his mouth.
Wow. The pack saddle's not even on the camel's gear.
Well, what we're supposed to do is, it was originally a riding saddle, and we switched it out for a pack saddle. And I was gonna copy everything over there, but it takes so long for me to type it, and it was so much easier for me to just keep the original pack saddles on the original animals, but just say that they're on the camel. I mean, please.
Okay, so then can you please tell Gromnar what's on your camel? Because I can't see it.
An ivory wine goblet, a scrimshaw wine goblet, a large tapestry depicting historical events, 3 rock crystals, and a tapestry of 8 extraplanar creatures, and 10 things of a it's not a dragon, but the things that we got them from, yeah, those things for shields and stuff.
The boulets. And where's the 10 dragon hide?
It's right there on Delta. I just said so. 10 dragon hide.
Oh.
Thank you, Asher.
You know what I realized today, last night, is that a boulet is basically a Dodongo from Zelda. But anyways, anything else from Gromnar and company?
Did Gromnar lead the camel over, or did he just walk?
He is going back to playing with his dog in the water. He did his part. He went over and he looked at it and saw that it was too big to carry, and he could not fulfill his obligation.
Really big heaping pile of 11 squares of dragonhide, blue dragonhide. So, yep. Time now is, oh, Whoops. Boom. Time now is 6:13 p.m. January 21st, 11:85. Everyone's tired, hungry, and thirsty. So there's a bless spell going on, a detect magic. This is the last round for the detect magic. And I'm going to remove Tinneroth from the turn order tracker because he is now part of Asher's party for the time being. Until he is loaded up with wares and is sent off to fence them. First up is Asher and Company, including Tinneroth.
Well, my lady, hello? Hello? Asher?
And he's just
Man,
standing there.
I did not. I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was muted.
Oh.
I don't know how long I've been muted. So Asher asks Cirrus, she's like, well, how much dragon hide do you think we should keep?
I think Asher's too far away.
Yeah, he doesn't
Sorry,
seem
dear.
to acknowledge your talking. He looks like
Oh,
he's
you are.
surrounded by grunting barbarians right now.
Okay, yeah.
Well, quote-unquote nomads.
But you might see that Gromnar has failed at my task and feel like decide to take it over.
Let's see. Poor Gromnar. Trying to see how many pieces of dragon hide I have. I don't remember. Okay, 13.
You guys noticed that this barbarian pulls out this big, like, half rib cage slab of meat from some kind of large, almost huge animal with like gray skin. And he kind of sets it not like on a spit over the fire, but literally into the fire. And the fire begins to, like, you know, smoke and like burn so much fat off of this half an animal carcass. And you can see that like half the head remains. And there's this weird tendril-like nose hanging off of the head. And a big floppy gray ear. And every once in a while he like jams a stick into the fire and like tries to turn the rib cage over in such a way that it will redisperse the heat as the meat cooks. Okay, anything else from Asher and Company?
Yep, so Asher and Tenoroth, Jim, and the camels all come close so that they can pool resources. And Asher is going to turn over the Asher's kind of says out loud, like, I guess let's keep like 5 pieces of dragon hide. That seems reasonable, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, 5. There's no way we'll use it all. So yeah.
And so she takes out a gem, the aqua with darker mottling, and says, well, before I turn this over, let me appraise it. Make an appraising check.
Okay. Where was that treasure from?
It was from the bodega. I believe so. Let me double check that. Oh, I was wrong. That was from... It was one of the things that the assassins were carrying at the Malika Oasis treasure.
Okay.
Each of the assassins was carrying 4 gems, aqua, dark, or mottling. 40. Yeah. Oh, actually, Calamar, you also have 16 of those, so you want to pull that as well?
Yeah.
Cool.
Whoops. Okay. So, you find that these stones are turquoise. And they are worth... they're ornamental stones, so that's I think... Oh shit, how much are they worth? Ornamental stones are worth 10 GP each, I think.
And then Asher is going to hand Teneroth one of the clear rock crystals. Oh, let me see. Actually, I don't know if he has this proficiency or not. I guess I was just assuming.
Where are the clear rock crystals from?
Those are from the bodega.
Okay.
She's gonna hand him one of the clear rock crystals and say, like, "Can you appraise this for me?"
Let's see. Oh, there it is. Do you remember what part of the bodega you guys got them from?
They're,
Let me look it up real quick.
I'm pretty sure they're from the cockatrice nest.
The bedroom, it says.
Oh. Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he determines that they are rock crystal worth 50 GP each because they are semi-precious. Yep, semi-precious stones.
Alright. So Asher is going. We appraise the dragon hide or no? I don't have any sort of value assigned to it.
Well-
You've determined that it's essentially worthless until it's turned into a suit of armor.
So let's see. 1 second.
Because there really, there's no mechanic for that, and I'm not gonna make one up.
I'm
But
gonna
if you
leave that
had,
out for the time being then.
okay. And
With that-
Tinneroth doesn't have the means of turning that into armor anyways, so it would be kind of useless to him as well.
Sure is going to turn over those items and to me total what that's going to be. The total value of 5,770.
Ooh. And he straight up forks over 5,770 GP.
Standing.
Yeah. In
So-
many bags from a camel.
Calamar will just keep the dragon skins on our inventory and everything else that I sent you earlier. If you could just take off your inventory, please.
Alrighty.
And then divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 player characters. Should be a cut of 1,154 for everyone. And Asher is going to give
Ooh.
Asher is going to give 4 sapphires and 1,000 gold to Tenoroth as half of the payment for the boat, with a promise of coffin of the rest probably in a few weeks.
Okay. And of course he takes that gladly. And he goes, Come on. Come on, clownfish. Okay.
Ah, I've only lost 770 gold, and I've got all this loot to sell. Outstanding. This
Pleasure doing business.
This will expedite things, most definitely. And of course, I shall send your next contact as soon as I can. Well, contacts, hopefully.
My last action of this session before I run out to work is to tell Calamar, like, I feel like going for a walk in the oasis later, away from here. Here's Darren's instant fortress. Set up camp whenever you want.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Okay.
that will be it for me.
Have
You
a
guys
good day
have
at
a
work.
good day. Thank you.
See you later. Okay. And let's put her characters on the GM layer. And her camels... What was it? Gamma and Delta? No. Was it Lumpy, Grumpy, and Frumpy were hers? Yeah, I think so. Okay. Lumpy, Grumpy, and Frumpy. And her characters disappear into the bushes or whatever. And as does Tinneroth, who sort of fucks off with his camel and all that loot. Okay. Next up is On. He just sort of splashes a little bit more water onto that fire, and the fire goes out. Next up is Saris and Company.
Can I see that Gromnar has not done what I asked?
Yeah, he kind of has the demeanor of a child with ADD, and he kind of like snooped around the camel you told him to get the hide from, and then he was kind of looking over at you and like moving his mouth for a second, and then he went back into the water. He's like splashing around and playing with his dog Asher too.
I'm gonna like enter the very entrance of the tent and I'm here to trade for information since you are wanderers from this area. And we have things of value that we could trade you if you would tell us places of note.
You hear one of them grunt. And he kind of waves you over to the group and he points to where he wants you to sit. Right there, which is right here. And you can hear the whispering of the old man with some of the other barbarians, and he's saying to keep a careful lookout, set up a perimeter of defense, and put archers in the trees at night, and just get ready to ambush anything that comes along. And look out for minions of Set, and their ilk. And you never really heard that term before, minions of Set. You've heard of the priesthood of Set. You've heard of the assassins of the Kong Cabal. Acolyte of the Kong Cabal. But minions of Set is this new new term you've never really heard of. And he's like, so you are visiting us here?
Yeah, we are
Or did you want to
on
trade?
our way. Yes. I want to trade for information.
Very well.
If that would be okay.
What do you have to offer?
Can I reach into my bag Would you mind?
Go ahead. You're a free man.
I just didn't wanna, you know. So I reach into my bag and I take out the blue dragon fang and say, we have slain a blue dragon and we have hide that you could turn in, that I'm sure you have leather workers that could turn into valuable things that you would find useful.
Yes, we do. How do you know about this?
I just know that you need to make stuff on your travels since you move around.
Yes, we do have leather workers. What sort of information do you require?
I would like to know places of interest and about the factions of evil that are in the area, and ask you if you've heard of any towers recently. I've been told there's supposed to be 3 towers somewhere.
There is a tower west of here. The Tower of Travelers.
Travelers? Like what?
You see, the cult of Set is in an expansion phase. And the Tower of Travelers to the west is the center of operations to connect with the north into Panoplia.
Is there a tower to the north that you know of?
Not that I know of. That is the last tower.
And oases or caves that we should know about?
The Kaparajam Oasis is south of here. South by southwest.
Okay.
If you head due south, you should be able to see it.
And how far is the tower west of here?
About 60 miles into the desert.
Okay.
If you head due west, you should be able to see it.
Yeah. It's very big?
It is 45 feet tall.
Thank you.
Most of the towers are this tall.
Most of them? You know of others?
Yes. Further to the south, there is the Tower of Worship, the Tower of the Storm, and the Tower of Devils. You must not go to this place. The Tower of Devils is very dangerous.
Okay.
And
If
he looks at you sideways, and he says, and some talk of a new tower in the jungle to the southeast of here. They call it the Tower of Serpents. They say this is where the minions of Set arrive. Do you know about this? Do you know about the minions of Set?
I know that we've been attacked by people related to Set, but I'm not an expert, no.
The minions of Set are mutated men who can turn into animals like snakes and crocodiles. They are very dangerous. You should not trust them.
Okay, thank you. If does any of you do you have anyone that can draw up a map of some kind to give us an idea? Or even a crude map would be fine to just mark.
What is this draw?
Like mark on a piece of paper
Paper?
where things are.
What is paper? You speak of sacrilege.
Sacrilege?
You should not. No, you should not defile the trees of Gaia in such a manner. Paper. Such sacrilege.
Oh, I am sorry. I'm not from this region. I meant no offense. How about on hide of some kind?
I do not know this draw.
Okay. So... give me 1 second.
And next up is Brian Jurid and Company.
Right. Well, so the fire got already out, but that means it is time for recreation. And he takes a bit of an air hop, like flap, flap, and splash. He's very good at swimming. So he's gonna enjoy.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my wing a little bit to splash at his Gromnar. Gromnar! Come to swim.
The water actually reminds you of home. And the pH levels in the water and like the composition of the water molecules is a lot like the water you'd find in the Underdark, actually. I mean, in the Great Below.
Yeah.
It reminds.
I'm tasting it a little bit with my tongue and smelling and Gromnar.
Tastes like it came straight out of the Great Below.
Yeah. This comes from Great Below, this water. It's very deep. I bet you could probably swim down to Great Below from here if it was wide enough.
Paul, are you there?
You want Gromnar swimming below?
No. Just join for a swim. Reminds me of home. Tastes the same. Smells the same. The water. The minerals.
You can see that.
Deep earth.
You can see that the hole is about 15 feet wide. It's big. And the jet of water that's coming out of it is really weak. It's rising very, very slowly. Like, you can barely even tell that water is rising. You know how, like, you put a hose in a puddle, there's like a little bit of a mound of water that pops up? It's it's almost unnoticeable. You have to get your eyes down to eye level to be able to see the water being jetted up.
Brainerd mentions at the same time, this spring is probably the reason why this hill is here. It has grown over a long time. brought a little bit material from the great below as well, and built this hill. He's gonna enjoy and swim around.
Yeah, you can see with your dragon eyes that erosion has sort of cut away at the edge of the mesa through dampness of the sandstone and has eaten it down into sand again.
Yeah.
And at some point there was an ocean here that packed the sandstone down from sand. And with your draconic senses, you can see that there are tiny, tiny little animals in the sandstone from bygone ages, fossils and whatnot.
This is interesting. I'm gonna go and take a look at after my swim.
Okay, anything else
No,
from... Okay.
That's it for Brainerd.
And Calamar and Company.
Calamar looks at Olivia and says, "Smile! Come get in the water!" And he goes over and calls Tarana, and Tarana comes, and they go in the water and start splashing around and everything. Olivia will take care of the camels. He's not going to come in there. But Jessie is going to, but she's going to be invisible. And what she's going to do is go into the water in a random place, like, how about right there? Oops. And she's going to fall down on the water until it just generates a huge splash. Hopefully just gets Gromnar all wet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The water there is a little dirtier, but quite cool from evaporation and whatnot. And as you get closer towards the center, it gets warmer and warmer, but cleaner and cleaner.
Oh, I like the center of the water. Nobody likes this outer water. Forget it. And she goes over there after she does the belly flop.
Yeah. So it's like, because you've been in the desert all day, your toes are pretty much ice cold around the edge.
Yeah.
And as it gets deeper and deeper and warmer, and as the man parts dip into the water, you can feel that it's like body temperature by the time. So there's no like, shrink, shrivel. It's body temperature by the time you get to dip the man parts in, and then the water gets warmer and warmer the closer you get towards the hole in the center, and cleaner and clearer.
Yeah. How did the belly flop do?
I
believe it was unfortunate because I'm a little bitty creature.
It basically turned the water there into mud. It's pretty dirty there. Like there's a lot of silt and stuff and like waste from creatures crapping in the water and urinating in it and bathing.
Oh!
Yeah.
No.
So there's a lot of like slimy, muddy silt around the edge. It's kind of gross when you first step in, but it's cool. It's very cool.
She goes over and to the deepest part of the water, and she reaches in and she pulls out one of her lavender soaps and starts taking a bath.
Okay, right there, it's really warm. It's like 75, 80 degrees.
Oh, yeah.
So like basically the same, or a couple degrees warmer than the ambient temperature after sundown. And the water smells really clean right here. Like when you first stepped in, there was kind of like a stench, right? Like a pond type of stench.
Yeah.
And as you got closer towards the center, that stench went away, and the water looks quite potable right here, actually, and drinkable.
Yeah.
But it's warm. It's a little on the warm side.
And Boogie will come down and get into the water, but he's paranoid about it because he remembers that when what's his name threw himself into a river down a cliff. It was right when he was new, and he doesn't want it, so he's going real slow.
Yeah, the water's kind of smelly around the edge. You can see there's like this yellow film. Even on the map, there's like a yellow film around the edge for the first 10 feet or so. You can really see it right here on the north side of the pond. It's like that weird.
Well, he never goes any deeper than that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, by the way, Asher said that she forgot how much XP for a successful appraisal. And also, she noticed when she was
0.
doing her treasure that, that's what I thought, because I never had one, that she's already tracking Mad Moen's armor on one of her camels. I guess Asher agreed to carry it on a previous session.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, and I'm done.
Okay. Next up is Mad Moen, who, walks back over, takes off the rest of his armor, puts his axe down, finally gets, into his loincloth, he pulls off his doublet and everything under his armor and everything, and gets into his loincloth, and he runs through the water, oh my god, like a puppy, and jumps and splashes into this deepest part right here, like right before the edge over the hole. And swims around, and he starts drinking the water, and he goes,
"Oh my gods, I can't taste this water. It has no taste at all. It must be the purest water I've ever drank in my life."
It's from the Great Below.
Is the water always this pure in the Great Below?
Well, it is very pure water usually. Unless it's nearby a volcano, then it's not so pure.
This water must be filtered somehow. Strange. I wonder why it's so warm and clean. If it's from a volcano, shouldn't it taste like
if it's near volcano, but I don't think this is near volcano. It doesn't have that sulfur taste.
Maybe the sand filters it. Hey, that's kind of cool.
Alright, next up, let's see, is Gromnar and Company. Paul, are you there? Oh, he just went into AFK. Alright, let's take a 5-minute break. We've been playing for about 90 minutes, 2 hours and a half since we were supposed to start. We haven't had a break really, so let's take a 5-minute break. We'll come back and hopefully Paul will be back on mic by then. Okay, be right back in 5.
Yep.
Grumlar is gonna move a little towards the center and.
Wait, we took a 5-minute break.
Oh, sorry, I ended up in the AFK.
Yeah. So we took a 5-minute break to wait for you to come back.
Yeah, I
And
hate
you
that it
can't-
does that.
Yeah. How do I make a map without paper?
I don't.
A wineskin's made of leather, right?
Skin of some sort, I would assume.
How big are they?
I'm back.
I'm back.
Me too.
I have to. In a few minutes, I'm cooking, so I'm gonna have to go do some cooking stuff, but then I'll be back. So.
Okay.
So
Everyone
what
have a
I
good break.
Yeah.
Everyone have a good break.
Yep.
Is Paul back?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So, next up is Gromnar and Company.
So, well, Asher too just kind of swims around in the little shallow water. Gromnar's going to move a little closer to the center and unleash his inner camel, hopefully.
Oh, just pee all over the place. Oh, you're talking about use the drinking proficiency?
Heavily.
You're talking about using the drinking proficiency? Did I lose you guys?
No.
No.
Okay. Did anyone catch what Paul said?
I noticed that everything went quiet. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
I hear you.
Yeah. All he's doing is drinking heavily. It was a successful roll, so he will
Okay.
drink 2 days.
Yeah, you get enough hydration in you to
Water.
fill both your humps. So Gromnar has the drinking and eating non-weapon proficiencies that allow him to store extra hydration and food in case he's in a situation like this where there are oases kind of few and far between, and he has to travel for a long time without maybe water source or maybe without food. And you are able to hydrate for 2 days. Anything else from Gromnar and Company?
No, he's gulping down and gulping and gulping and gulping more.
Okay. Did everyone get a chance to get like a drink and a snack and all that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just that I'm cooking, so I'm gonna have to go step aside in a few minutes. But
Okay.
I'll be right back, and I'll have my food, so it'll be good.
For any idea how long? Will it take 5
For,
minutes or 10?
It'll take less.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll
just-
probably take 2 or 3 minutes.
Just let me know when you step out, and we'll take another 5-minute break.
Okay, great.
Okay. All right. So, time now is 6:14 p.m. Everyone is tired and hungry. Not everyone is thirsty anymore. Blue dot is Jim's. Oh yeah, Jim's not here right now, but time is passing, and his spell is running out. So now, Cirrus, go ahead and delete your blue dot because it has
Yep,
just
I
run
did.
out. Okay, and first up is On, who sort of starts a splash fight with Mad Moen. I got you. No, you didn't, fuckhead. You know. And Cirrus and Company is up.
Okay, I take out the 2 bad eggs from my bag and say, these are cockatrice eggs. They won't hatch, but you can probably make some good food with them. Would you like them?
I can help cook, says Jan.
You're way too far away.
Ah, okay, too far.
He reaches out with these two big ass hands. You never seen a guy this big. Like these dudes are fucking huge. Barbarians are they're probably like 6.5 feet tall to almost 7 feet, like 6'6" to 6'9".
And Sirius is 5'6", so...
This guy looks like he could palm a bowling ball.
Or a cockatrice egg.
And he does. He reaches out with two great hands and grabs the cockatrice eggs. And they're sitting cross-legged. And he clutches them. He clutches them up against his legs together, and sort of pats them, and pushes the sand up around them so they don't like fall over or anything like that. And he sort of nods as he does it.
And so I take out there was a blanket wrapped around each one. So I take out and kind of fold one of the blankets that was around the two of the eggs, or one of the egg, or however many. And I take out my ink and make a black spot on it and say, "This is where we are. Could you make marks of where the towers and things are? Like, guess the distance and the direction?"
Okay. So it's a blanket. So
I'm using ink. It's gonna stain it. So.
All right. So here's your blanket. Do. All right. Go ahead and make your mark of where your dot is. Can you see that white field just north of you, Cirrus?
Yeah. Sorry. What's the big black spot on the middle there?
I don't see
Shadow
it.
from a tree.
Oh, hold on.
Josh can't see those, unfortunately.
I'm gonna put it over the. Whoops. I'm gonna put it over the pond.
No, you can leave it there. I
need to put it someplace where you can see the whole thing.
This doesn't come up much when we're playing, but I have a small hand tremor, so it's gonna be hard for me to draw like a little dot.
I guess you can see over here just fine. From where
Yeah,
you're
this is fine. Oh,
there we go.
I keep making my marks.
And then he moves it on you.
Okay, there's your. I moved the mark over to the white field. You should be able to move it with your mouse.
I can move it like 1 pixel at a time. Can you just delete? Is there a way to delete my mark?
Yeah.
Drag a box around it, and then you can grab it just like you grab a token to move.
It became just one tiny dot. I'm gonna gonna start over. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry for having a good idea and doing it. There's nothing.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more about how long it's taking to do this. Okay, so I mark up there and put, yeah, and say we're here. This is north. This is south. West. East. And wait, did he say that the tower was to the west or the east?
We said west.
Oh, then let me just move my thing because I wouldn't have put it so far. That's what I lay out in front of him. Written better because my character can write unlike me.
And he goes, this is the tower here. It is about 60 miles south by southwest. West by southwest.
Okay.
Then this is the next oasis. Here.
Mm-hmm.
About the same distance to the south by southwest. Then there is a jungle here, and the mountains here.
Mm-hmm.
And there is more desert to the south.
Yeah. And what about the other 3 towers you mentioned?
Very far to the south, there is a tower. Well, it is out of scale now, but the tower would be about here, this direction here. Then there is another one, they say, in the jungle here. Then there is another one, the Tower of Devils, south of the jungle. You should not go here, but it would be there.
Okay.
This is draw?
Yes, this is draw.
I like this draw. This is very good.
Yes, it helps. It's a great help for me and my team, my party.
We do not use paper.
This is a blanket. I have another one if you want.
This blanket is not made of paper?
No, it's cloth.
Oh, from the sheep hair.
Yeah.
I see. Sheep's wool.
Would you
Very
like
good.
the other blanket?
No, thank you.
No, okay.
But you see, this is out of scale.
Yes.
Okay.
I just wanted like an idea, you know? Because we're not from here, so we don't know.
Yes, I don't know much about further to the south, but in between us and the other towers at the bottom of the map, there are many more places of interest that I'm sure you will find with a little bit of exploration.
Okay. And Should that end my turn, or can I keep talking?
Yeah, that should probably end it, because it's been
Okay.
well over 60 seconds. Okay, next up is Brian Jordan Company.
All right. Well, finish up my little splash. Then I come back and go over here on the shore. Take a look at the walls in here, the edge, to see all the little animals and old skeletons in there. Wondering how long ago must that have been, if they are in the stone. I mentioned, hey guys, there's very old bones in here in the sand.
Yeah, you can see with your acute dragon eyes, it's some sort of shrimp. They're very, very small. They're sort of stuck in the sandstone. And this pool is eroding away at the sandstone and dragging the sand down to the bottom of the oasis. And the sand, breaks apart into individual sand crystals or grains or whatever, and absorbs the water and starts the process over again of erosion.
I'm really fascinated on that. Looking around and seeing others also taking a refreshing bath. But I'm wondering is that could something still be alive and the water will eat it away and they will come back to alive in the stone? Could something hibernate long enough?
Okay, I have to go take my thing now out of the pot. Hang on.
Okay.
I'll be back in a minute.
All right, when it comes up to be Shannon's turn, we'll just take a 5.
That's Brander. Brander is just looking at the wall. Some people might be thinking, what is Brander doing when looking at wall?
Okay.
That's all from Brander.
All right. Next up is our 5-minute break. Another one. Okay. And we'll just be right back in 5.
I need 64 experience.
I'm almost down to 80,000.
I think I might level up before you.
Oh, you'll probably level up 2 or 3 times before me.
I just mean like I currently need 64 experience to level.
Yeah, I need just a little over 80,000.
What level is that to?
When I hit that, I will be at level 9
Hmm.
with a total of 250,000 experience.
This is why you start going giant hunting. At this level.
See, me as a player would not mind going after high value experience things. Unfortunately, I know that Gromnar is not equipped for more than giants. A lot of the high value stuff you need magic to do them harm, and unfortunately magical two-handed swords are very rare.
Or Veron.
Yeah. Eventually, you're gonna run into magic two-handed swords, though. It's like inevitable. It just takes time, because there's a like a 5% chance that they drop.
Well,
So
you know,
one in
that's
every 20.
kind of why I'm branching. That's kind of why I'm branching out. You know, now he knows how to use a spear too. So now there's two things that he could possibly get something magical.
Yeah. But I mean, just think of it this way: for every 20 magical swords, one of them is going to be a two-handed sword.
Statistically.
Statistically. And
I'm
how
back.
many magic swords have you guys come across? Like almost 20 now. Because let's see, there's two. Varen has 2. Calamar's group has 3. 3 or 4 actually.
We only have 3 that I know of. 2 swords and then the mace.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever Boogie Will uses.
Wait, was Asher's group the... Does Asher have the really high level wizard with her?
No, Calamar is the highest level wizard.
Oh, okay, good.
But he's multi-classed, so.
Yeah, but he's still... I'm thinking of identifying, since we're stuck here for a bit.
Yeah, I have the spell. Yeah.
Yeah, Calamar's really good at identifying stuff. Say hello to Low. Low 505. Yep.
Hello.
Hello.
Our uptime is
Hello.
1 minute 59, or 1 hour 59 minutes. Okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take a screenshot or a green shot of that map, and I'm gonna delete it. Okay. And then next up is Calamar and Company.
Olivio takes care of the camels, gets them all unbridled and everything, and let them wander around and eat and drink, and they're wandering around. In the meantime, Calamar and Tirana moved kind of way over here. They're standing right next to each other and whispering. And Boogie Will, the water feels so good. Oh my God, the water is so good, and it tastes delicious and everything. He goes out to the middle, and he immediately starts splashing Gromnar, and seeing if Gromnar splashes him back.
He notices that Gromnar's face is in the water.
Ho ho ho. So he's not splashing back, so I'm going to splash him twice as hard. Josie's still taking her bath over here. Like, I'm gonna get that yellow stuff off my skin. Ew, yuck! Oh, I have this. You wouldn't believe this. The sand and where it goes. Oh my God! You know. So, yeah, I think that's most everybody. That's the turn.
Okay.
I can't delete the rest of the map, by the way.
Oh my God! You deleted it?
What? I said I can't delete it.
Okay.
I took a screenshot. I have it saved. But the rest is you need to delete it.
Okay. Screenshot is being really slow.
No, I got it all uploaded to...
Photo bucket?
No, I just put it on Discord.
There it is.
Okay. So, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna target the towers and go rape them all?
That's not up to me. Baron's not here, so I'll have an easier time convincing everyone too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that screenshot is good. I'll just delete this thing and bam. Okay. And then we had some RP with Calamar and with Gromnar, and next up is Mad Mullen. He swims out over the hole, and he just puts his face in the water and starts drinking. And while waiting, he's right in the middle, right over the hole. Okay. Next up is Gromnar. Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water.
You know, I was just thinking that same thing. Is he trying to be fucking shark bait or something? So, I'm assuming it's from that thing was being cooked in this general direction on this fire over here.
Yeah, yep, that fire. You can see lots of smoke coming up. There's like a cloud of smoke billowing around it as the fat from the meat drips off into the fire, intensifying the fire's heat and fueling the fire even more. It causes like a chain reaction that sets the fire up into like this furious uproar of smoke, and it's like burning the skin off the outside, and you can see this creature's skin was super thick. I mean, nearly
it was an elephant, right?
Nearly a 1/4 inch thick, and its meat is tender and juicy on the inside, and the skin is what's taking the toll here, and the skin is sort of like shriveling up and blackening as the heat intensifies, and it's perfectly cooking the meat underneath. And you can see that part of its head is still intact, and it has this long kind of prehensile nose aperture coming off of its face, and this big floppy ear. One of its teeth is a little larger than the others. Not so much a tusk. This one might be female, as you can tell from its parts. Like it has, nipples or whatever on its belly. I think that's how elephants nurse, but
Yeah.
it still does have slightly smaller or larger teeth where its canines should be. They're just kind of sticking out just a little bit. Not like a tusk, but just a larger tooth on one side. And the rest of the skull is obliterated. Like there's no brain left or anything. All you can see is that one tooth sticking out from behind the lip, part of the nose, and a floppy ear. And the smell is amazing. It smells like a mixture of like beef and like a gamier smell, like halfway between beef and venison. And the guy is like throwing powdered seasoning onto it from like 10 feet away. He's just grabbing big handfuls and throwing it at the meat, and it's getting stuck on the part where the fat has melted and is sort of like running over the meat, and all the bits of spices are getting stuck in the fat, and like the salt that's in his seasoning is melting in the fat and kind of like running down over the meat. And it smells brilliant, like a mixture of maybe like sea salt, some kind of peppers, like ground up peppers, and maybe some kind of mushroom. There's like little flakes of like a dark brown material in it. Smells brilliant. Brilliant. Anything else from Gromnar and company?
Yes. As he gets over there, he's smell good, and he looks at the guy throwing all the stuff on there, and oh god, this is Gromnar. I have to remember this.
Mm-hmm.
He looks at him and says, Gromnar hungry, and Gromnar here friend over there say he look trade for a woman, and Gromnar have woman to trade, and he whistles for his dog and says, see look, she fine woman, and Gromnar trade woman for food.
This guy, this barbarian right here that's cooking the food, he looks at you and says, you want to sell me a dog to fuck? Oh my god.
I, as a player, have no answer for this. I'm going with what I think Gromnar would have done, and I don't know where to go from here. So at this point, his turn is... You do realize that for Gromnar, I don't think about the things that I do 90% of the time. I just do what I feel he would.
I hope you have your headset on.
No.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no. It's fine. It's fine.
That's why we use headsets, ladies and gentlemen.
I literally have tears running out of my eyes right now. I'm laughing so hard.
What I said got you in trouble. Anyways.
No, it didn't.
Okay. Time now is 6:15, 21 January, 11:85. Blue dot is Jim's blessing. It's almost over. First up is On. He looks over at Mad Mo and he says, get out of the deep end, you idiot! And Mad Moen turns to him and he's like, huh? Okay. Next up is Cirrus.
I say thank you. Let me bring you some of the pelts. Not pelts. What am I trying to say? The dragon hide. And we'll rest for the night and talk, and can we talk again in the morning?
What color is this dragon hide?
Blue.
Oh, the desert dragon. Very good. Yes, you can
Yes.
come back in the morning. We will talk. I like you, little
Okay.
man. You bring gifts, and you trade for information. Information is something that I have much. Hope that you have more gifts.
I have more gifts. How much? How many would 3 man-sized pieces of hide be good for the information you've given me so far?
I thank you, little man. Yes.
Thank you.
Your gifts
And-
are so big. Maybe you're not so little after all.
I'll need to get one of my friends to bring them over.
Yes. You come back in the morning.
Thank you.
Have some of the elephant on your way out. Tell the cook his chief
Thank
say.
you very much.
Have a good night. Goodbye,
You too,
my
Bye.
friend.
my friend. Yes, bye.
And next is Brian Jarrett and Company.
Wait.
Oh.
Is Jazzy next to Cricket?
You don't see Jezzy most of the time and can't really tell.
But can he... Is she splashing in the water?
Cricket's not getting splashed that I know of. Cricket can see Calamar, though. I mean, you can see Calamar in the water. He's not invisible right now for some reason. He's right over here.
I'm not invisible most of the time
Hmm.
nowadays, but
With Tirana.
yeah. Before I was invisible all the time, but I don't have to be invisible now.
Yeah. Tirana.
Oh, Cricket swims over to... Who's that? Sorry.
Calamar?
Calamar. And bumps into Jazzy, I'm assuming.
Nope.
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 You are standing in Tirana's square, though.
Oh, Tirana. That's Tirana Square.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jazzy's way over there.
Yeah. In fact, I should probably turn my my character back on because I'm not invisible anymore.
I didn't know which of the invisible characters was which, so that was my mistake.
Yeah.
Which is perfectly fitting, because they're invisible.
Cricket swims over to the 2 elves. You're both elves, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're dark
and
elves.
starts swimming around you and trying to play with you in the water.
Well, yeah, Calamar will play with him, but it was for sure that he was not interested in a dog when he moved over here.
Well, the dog was here before he moved over here.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, he'll play with him, and Toronto will play too.
Okay.
Because, you know, he's a good dog.
Branger and Company.
All right. Well, Jan goes on and takes a look at our one wounded when he finally has gotten up here. If the wounded is still here.
Branger himself is wounded.
No. I'm thinking we have one person who is death's door, so he needs to check that first. Right?
You find Varen nowhere. He's not here.
Oh,
Varen is not here.
Braindered! I saw a fight. What happened? Or heard? Are you hurt? Anybody hurt?
You're pretty hurt. Yeah.
I'm still hurt, but I think Veron is more hurt.
Varen's not even here.
Oh, he teleported away, something like that.
You don't see Varen anywhere. None of his characters are anywhere to be found.
Yeah, I know that one, but I rationalized that for my character.
Yeah.
That he must have teleported somewhere.
You can see that this camel is also hurt.
Braindred goes towards the camel and well, if you first help up the camel and then me. Janis, you sure? Yes, I'm sure. At least stop its bleeding. But Jansson, well, very well. Won't have time to do that because Moot is around. He'll finish up moving here to a spot where I can do something about it. To go here and then step in and touch and then move back next round.
You also know that Gromnar is hurt, Moen is hurt, and On is hurt.
Yeah. We are going to have to spend some time here. A lot of us are hurt, and this is a natural location to recuperate.
To be fair, when isn't Gromnar hurt?
Yeah.
Brainer. Jan! Look at the walls in here. There's little sea creatures in there. Or water creatures in there. Very, very old. Jan goes on. Hey, what? Things in rock? Are you kidding?
They what?
Look, very clearly. Jan, I don't see anything. Distance and not so good eyesight. But that's pretty much it. Brainer comes closer to be meted up along with the camel. And that's it for Jan and Brainer. Everybody else seems to be on the main camp.
Okay. Calamar and Company.
Calamar plays with the dog and then says that, now go on. I have to fix Toronto now. Go play with Boogie Bell. Go on. And he turns around and he very carefully washes the scratch that she has on her forehead off and you know gently brushes it away and dabs at it and everything and then he says, "That's much better." She says, "Well, thank you. It feels better." And then they just kind of hug in the water. And Boogie Will is giving up on splashing somebody else and has decided to bathe himself. Jazzy, I think, is still bathing herself because she's like, that stuff over there, oh my god, you see that stuff? She scrubs away. And I think that's it.
Okay. Next up is Mad Moen, who, swims out from over the hole. And he goes to On. He goes,
What are you talking about, partner?
and On goes, that was the hold that I swam over when those land sharks appeared. Don't you remember? And Mad Moen just goes,
Oh, sorry, I was busy throwing up in my helmet. My bad.
and next up is Gromnar and Company.
Hmm.
The smell of that elephant meat is getting more and more savory by the moment as the herbs and spices sort of melt into the meat, and the meat becomes like a medium rare by now, and the guy is like flipping it over again.
You know, Gromnar has absolutely no idea about cooking, but he will do whatever he can to help, you know, as far as sticking a sword in there or a stick in there to try and help flip it around, you know, whatever's needed. He'll try to help cook the damn.
And the cook grabs like 2 logs out of the fire, or out of the supply of firewood, and he starts rolling the elephant meat up on top of these 2 logs to use almost like a table. And you know, it's medium rare to them. Perfect. And all these guys come up with knives and stuff, and they start cutting away in between the ribs, along the back. There's this long back strap, and one of the bottom round roasts is on there too. So like the upper part of the thigh or whatever, and as well as a rump and a chuck roast. And you know, they cut all that, and this guy comes up with a sword, and he starts slicing in between the ribs, and the ribs kind of look like nice meal-sized serving for Gromnar. And he cuts along all these ribs. There's about what is it, six on each side for mammals, right? I don't remember.
Whatever you say.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think it's 6 on each side. And you know, after he gets them all separated, he starts cracking them in half. Whack with this sword. Whack, cracking these ribs in half. And dudes walk up and rip off, you know, the top half, the what was that, spare rib or whatever is the end? Yeah, spare rib. And they
Are
start
these
munching it down.
African or Asian elephants?
African.
They have 21 pairs of ribs.
So 10 ribs on either side. Oh, 21 pairs. So yeah, yeah, lots of ribs. And he's breaking them in half right at the side of the animal, so that, you know, 2 guys per rib. And yeah, lots of rib meat to go around. Lots and lots. And it smells just brilliant. And there's bits of like mushroom stuck on there, you know, and the outside is blackened, and dudes are just sitting around ripping the blackened skin off the outside, and devouring the meat within. And it's people are, dripping grease everywhere, and soaking into the sand and stuff. And yeah, it smells really good, like this weird, like prehistoric barbecue.
And if nobody stops him, Gromnar will pull out one of his swords and hack off a chunk and start eating.
Oh yeah. You get your sword in between two of the ribs, slice it all the way down, and it cuts through the spine even, and you can just rip that end right off, and you get that whole rib. It's before the guy gets to cracking that rib, and he just looks at you like, "Oh, wow, that's a good idea." A whole rib, and you get your whole rib. It probably weighs about a good 20 pounds. This rib with all the meat on it.
Oh, that's a light snack for somebody Gromnar size.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll eating.
Oh, damn.
All right. So starting with the side of the ribs, you get an even distribution of the herbs and spices on the inside, and you rip off the skin on the outside or whatever, and it's got all that juicy meat underneath. You start attacking that rib from the side, and it tastes like a mix of sauteed mushrooms, sea salt, like a really, really savory, salty beef jerky, right? Mixed with venison, and some, that mushroomy, earthy flavor. And it makes a real nice mix with the fat of the beef as it drips off. Kind of runs down your chin a little bit. And the au jus is a little red because it's the meat is medium rare. And it kind of drips off your chin onto the ground as you kind of lean forward, to get at the rib, leaving a little bit of a red pool of liquid on the wet sand that kind of slowly seeps in after a while, and it just tastes delicious. Not only the taste of the meat, but the smell of it as it's wafting off of the collection on top of the two logs. And my image search isn't working right now, otherwise I would pull an image of an elephant, a dead elephant or whatever, laying sideways on that slab.
Okay.
But
we can use our imagination.
yeah. Yeah. But man, it sure is good. Okay. Time now is 6:16 p.m. Oh, and you managed to eat enough of it to get 2 days worth of food in your belly. You just gorge yourself with 20 pounds of elephant rib meat in this prehistoric barbecue. Blue dot is Jim's Bless. It's the last round of that. Next up is On, who kind of goes back to splashing Mad Moen. Next up is Cirrus.
I go up to one of the butchers and say, "Your chief said I could have some meat. Just a little, though."
And he points to one of the chuck roasts. It's the size of The chuck roast is the size of a lazy boy chair, like sitting surface. So like the cushion of a couch, about the size of the cushion of a couch, right? About that thick, about as thick as the cushion of a couch, and about the same dimensions. So say 2 feet wide by 2 feet deep by almost a foot thick. It's just this huge chuck roast. It's got this big ass tendon running through it. And it's medium rare. It's like gray on the outside on both sides, and then kind of like a pink in the middle. And the tendon is barely brown on both ends. And it looks pretty tender. Like maybe one of the most tender bits of meat on the whole animal. And there's like a layer of fat that can be just sliced right off.
How much would that weigh?
That's a lot of meat. That's like probably 40 to 50 pounds of meat. And he goes, do you have a knife?
No, I don't have a knife.
Well, when you come to my barbecue, you better bring a knife next time.
Okay. Gromnar, do you have any weapon my size?
And Gromnar will offer him his sword. It look about your size, maybe a little bigger.
No, like a dagger or a knife.
Gromnar have this sword, another sword, and spear. Gromnar not need knife. Gromnar got sword.
Well, Gromnar, can you cut off the amount of meat that this man tells you to for me? Because I can't do it.
Gromnar just kind of shakes his head and chuckles, and then he'll chop off some meat.
So how much meat do I end up being given?
He manages to cut that into, he like hacks off like a wedge of the outside of it, which that part is like medium well, and then you know, cuts that from the side, and it's probably like a piece of meat that's about 2 pounds, that's cooked medium well, because it was at the corner. It's the corner. Yeah. It's like the corner of the edge piece. So you know, if you burn the Christmas roast, it's only burned on the outside. If you cut off the outside, it's still good on the inside. You know, that's the same way when you cook meat, medium rare. There's a little bit that's like medium well if it's a really big piece of meat, like on the corner of the edge piece or whatever. That'll be about 2 pounds, which is that's a lot of meat for like a person to eat. 2 pounds of meat.
Yeah, how much I don't eat meat in real life, so how much meat would satisfy Ceres for the day?
About a pound of food is a meal, basically.
Okay.
So
I have I also asked Gromnar, can you cut this in half for me also?
At this point, Gromnar is going to stick his sword in the ground point first and say, "There you go. You'll." and continue to stuff his face for his 2 days worth of meat.
And you
Well, I
can
guess I could,
grab the meat from both ends and just run it down the blade, and it'll cut it in half.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. And yeah, he keeps his blades sharp, kinda. Although he doesn't roleplay sharpening them, but he certainly hasn't killed too many things with his swords yet. Because Varen always gets there first, pretty much. Other than those giant, what was it? The tunnel worms. The tunnel worms. You got those pretty good.
And Veron with his company is pretty much a industrial blender.
Yeah.
Nothing lasts for more than 2 rounds.
Yep. He and his crew are like the Cuisinart of Cuisinarts. Okay. So Cirrus gets his pound of flesh.
And I go over to and greet this barbarian with the spear in front of me.
He goes,
Not a good reaction? Or what?
You didn't ask him to do anything. He just grunts.
I'm possibly looking for someone to help guide us so that we can deal with this evil. I need to ask your chief, of course, but if possible, would you be willing to join me if your chief allows?
What's in it for me? What do I get out of it?
You will get payment and equipment that we find, and as a token of my promise, I give you this pound of meat right now.
This meat I could get myself.
I know, but I
this
brought
is
it over.
Funny gift.
I just wanted to start a conversation with you, you know?
Yes. Okay, so these guys are these guys are Ravagers.
Yep.
Okay. What? I'm sorry, what did you say is in it for me?
What would you like? We go and slay creatures, and we sometimes get very powerful artifacts. You could gain some of those, you could gain more power, and...
You mean magic?
Yes?
I don't like magic very much.
But a sword that is magic, not spells or things like that. Are these guys...
Let's see. Culled from the strongest and most bloodthirsty members of their tribes, Ravagers serve as bodyguards, manhunters, trained to kill with weapons as well as their bare hands. So violent is their reputation, Ravagers are even feared by their fellow tribesmen, who consider them unpredictable and perhaps mentally unbalanced. Okay.
I need a good guide, and I need someone I can trust to protect me, as you all keep reminding me, I'm very small, and your chief likes me a lot. And I will ask him permission first, but someone like you could really be a great help to me and I would help pay you in whatever
Mm.
manner you seeked.
um. You know what? He's actually. They don't have aversion to magic. Um.
No, that's a different one.
Yeah, they've got involuntary rage though. Yeah. Okay. um. He looks at you and says, "Yes. If I were to join you, I would of course require equal share of the treasure equal to yours, and then the magic and coins and gems, and then of course, please try to respect my religious beliefs."
Yes. I will. What do I need to do that?
Well, I don't like the use of paper and written things. Yes.
Oh.
No, I mean for me.
Oh, for you. Can
Yes.
I use them?
I suppose, unless you are also a follower of Gaia.
No,
Okay.
I am not. Yes, I won't make you do anything like that.
I am good with the spear.
Yes. I am fine with you using a spear. You can do whatever it is that you need to do. I need both a guide and a defender for this journey because it's dangerous.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Let me think. You are being very friendly to me. NPC. PC. Let me think. Why should I go with you? I get all these things anyways as a member of the tribe.
We're going to take care of the places that the tribe avoids, so there's even more of this magic and treasure there. You'll get a larger cut because we are also a smaller group.
I would not care to go with you. I will stay with the tribe. There is many more of my kind here. We
Well, thank you
nomads must stick together.
Thank you for your time then.
Okay, see you around the barbecue then?
Yes.
Okay. Have a good night.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. I'm
Anything
guessing
else?
that means he wants me to walk away.
Anything else from Cirrus and Company?
Cricket swims over to the 3 that he can see playing in the water and plays with them a bit.
Okay.
And Sirius is gonna eat the hunk of meat that he has.
Okay. Next up is Brian Druid and Company.
Alright. Well, Jan goes on and he spends.
You were really close, by the way. You only failed by 2.
Did you include my +1?
I didn't give you a +1. But even in that case, you would have failed by 1.
I know.
Okay, Brian Druid.
Yep, I am working on.
Don't worry, I'm not done trying
healing.
yet.
Good.
Healing the camel. To prevent it from bleeding.
Oh, with Dion. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep, Jan. Brainerd is waiting for his turn while everybody else is splashing or talking to elsewhere.
Okay, so Beta's health is maxed out.
Brainerd's turn is gonna be over very soon. Jan is still a little bit unsure about what follows up the ask to heal the camel first. So I'm gonna ask Brainerd, why did you ask me to heal the camel? Brainerd, well, they are our companions on this trip. They are working just as much as we are by carrying our goods and material. Not everybody can hunt effectively in this. Yeah, goes, I guess.
Dion.
I wish I was stronger, I could heal more, but I can only do so little.
Dion gets 100 points divided equally among his classes for Cure Light Wounds. And anything else from Brian Druid and Company?
That is gonna be it.
Okay, Calamar and Company.
Calamar and Trana are going to slowly walk together out of the water. And Calamar is going to go over here, I guess. Let me see. Does that look like a good place to put the Darren's Instant Fortress?
Into where?
Over this way some, like this. Yeah. Exactly like that. Yeah.
Possibly. Let's see.
If not, we can back up a little bit. You know, I want it like it looks secure.
Okay. Probably miscellaneous tokens. City, town, probably. Exterior. There's this fortresses. Oh, not round large. Must be round small. Wow, it's smaller than small. Whoa. It's Darren's Instant Fortress small. Instant Fortress. Okay. There we go. So like that? Right here? Like that?
That is beautiful, yes. Just
Okay.
like that.
And that'll be the bottom floor.
And so Tron and Calamar all take the camels into the fortress, you know, if they want to. Let them get some water and stuff first, but then they go into the bottom of the fortress. And then Tron and Calamar will go up to the second floor.
Okay. I've almost got it dynamically lit on the bottom floor. Just need to line up these lines. Okay. There's your dynamically lit bottom floor.
Okay, great. So I'll just move our horses in there and our camels, I mean, not horses.
Yeah. Okay. And while you do that, the rest of us will take a 5-minute break. And when we come back, we'll have the last hour of today's session. And be right back in 5.
Okay.
All right. Let's see here. Is Brian Jerry back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Calamar,
Yep.
Cirrus,
Uh-huh.
and Gromnar.
Yep.
Okay. So, yep, next up we have Calamar. Calamar and Company. Sorry.
Calamar just finished his turn, so yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yep. Okay. Mad Moen is I guess he's kind of done with his bath. He's washed off all the sweat and grime. He's gonna come back over here, and he's gonna grab his doublet, and then go back into the water, and he's actually gonna wash out his doublet in like the good pure stuff. And as he does, it like releases this cloud of like, you know, dried sweat and sand and grossness in the good part of the water. And On's like, "You nasty motherfucker, you could have done that on I'm going to the other side." Okay, next up is Gromnar.
Just looking around here for a second.
Looking around.
So yeah, that meat was pretty good, and Gromnar's gonna. No, I take. Gromnar sees the familiar signs of a building that he absolutely abhors.
A tent?
No, the fortress.
Oh.
And he knows what that means.
What? Fortress where? We put it up?
So he,
Oh, yeah, we did.
He will begin to make his way over there to set up his blanket on the outside and get ready to sit guard duty for everybody.
Okay.
Ranger decides to keep Gromnar company. Side time.
Okay. Time now is 6:17 p.m. January 21st, 11 AE5. Jim's bless is now gone, so everyone can remove their blue dots. Any regeneration would happen right now, but I think the closest person to having regeneration is probably Gromnar, but he's like 1 or 2 con away from having any kind of regeneration.
Just one.
Yeah. Man, just one more like magic book of Constitution or something, and there you have it. You get that one, what is it, like 1 hit point per hour or something?
Yeah.
Which is really good. At that point,
Yeah.
you pretty much don't need healing spells anymore, as long as you just survive the combat.
Yeah, pretty high constitution if you're that close. Very nice.
Okay.
One night of sleeping, he'd pretty much be fully healed from where he is.
Yeah. Yep. First up is gonna be On. On swims around the hole to the other side from, the opposite of Mad Moen. He's like, filthy, stinking motherfucker. And next up is Ceres.
I'm going to head over to the fortress.
Okay.
And set up a little fire and incubate my egg.
Okay.
And that's it for now.
All right. And there we go. Incubate the old egg.
Yep.
Next up is Dion. Oh,
Alright.
nope. Brian Druid and company, not Dion.
Yeah. Alright, Dion goes on her and heals Brain Druid then. Closer as well.
Okay.
And try to do the same thing for him. Ooh, 7 points.
All right. Dion gets another 100 points divided among his classes. And next we have Calamar and company.
So, Boogie Will and Jazzy are about done with their baths, and they start coming in. Boogie Will is carrying Jazzy. She did not want to go back through the water and get filthy again. It's like, yeah, I ain't touching that. I took a long time of scrubbing with all kinds of soap to get that off. I ain't going through there. And so they're getting ready to come there. And meanwhile, Calamar says to Ceres, hi Ceres, yeah, did you want to spend some time identifying anything? Because my friend, he can't move. The one who's not here, who disappeared, but he will be next time, and he won't be able to move.
Mm-hmm.
So, I could cast spells. You just got to tell me now so that I can memorize the right spell.
Can I ask, didn't Varen have all the unidentified stuff on him?
He probably had some, but what are you talking about? What did you want identified?
Do we have anything that's not identified? Other than what Varen had?
Let's see. Yeah. I see a lot of things held by Varen and company, but I do not see... Well, just, You just tell me before I go to sleep so I can memorize the right spell, of course. You know, that's all. Yeah.
We should definitely have it prepared for... in case we need to spend a long time here.
Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking. But, you know, it all depends. But, okay. Yeah.
I have... let me show you this. Where are you, by the way? Where's your character?
There I am.
Oh. This book that the priest was carrying is extraordinarily magical.
Oh. Yeah.
And we need to find out what it is, but you know, you don't want to just open up these kind of books and read them. Because
yeah, I never thought about it, but yeah, somebody could curse an item like that. Wow. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that for sure can be identified, you know, if you decide to. If not, we can always just save it and wrap it up and hide it, and we can save it till we do get some time.
yeah. Okay.
Alright. Calamari goes back inside with Trana, and that's my turn.
Okay. Next up is Mad Moen, who finishes up washing off his doublet, and he comes over to this smoking, ashy area where the fire was, and he walks right up to this tree and hangs the doublet right on one of the branches of this tree. And then he walks over to his armor and weapon, grabs up the whole pile, and comes over and sits down underneath the tree where his doublet is drying, and just kind of waits it out. Although, while he's just wearing his loincloth, he does come over, start walking this way. He's got his head tipped back and he's smelling the air as he walks. And he's got this look on his face like, that's some good ass victuals right there. I smell it. Okay, next up is Gromnar. And company.
Yep, gets himself to the doorway and pulls a blanket out of his sack and sits down and waits for somebody to tell him when it's his turn to go to sleep. He has first watch, so he has to wait for someone.
Yeah, what is our watch with so many people?
You can see the watch list on the daily
Yeah,
routine.
I was opening it up. I was just wondering if it ended up that anyone was just like, just one person.
If what was
No,
what?
it seems fine. I was just wondering if it was... if there was any guard shifts that look like they would be more or less empty because of the people we're missing. But it seems like they're fine.
Yeah. Typically, spellcasters participate in the last guard shift because they'll sleep
I
through
know.
the first two, And then for the first couple of hours or whatever of the third shift, they'll be memorizing spells, and then once their spells are memorized, they'll participate in the third guard shift, which is like usually the last few minutes of it. Because each spell level takes 10 minutes to memorize.
Yeah, I know.
So you can memorize 6 spell levels per hour. And you
Hey
have
Josh,
yes, ma'am.
I have to run. I'm not feeling very good. I feel like I'm about to throw up.
Okay, let's
I might
call it
be
here.
back. Okay.
Let's
bye.
call it here. Okay, yep. Have a good week. Let's call it here. I'll take you guys back to the Crossroads map, and hopefully next week we have Shannon and Varen and Asher full crew, and maybe we could move on. Hey, even to the next location. Did I lose you guys?
Nope.
Okay. Any level ups?
Yes.
Nope.
All right. So let's do Saris's level up real quick. Go ahead and give me that HP roll. And as a specialist, you will gain another spell. Okay. And here is your spell book.
Sarah has very good HP for a mage.
Yeah. Okay. Yep, you rolled maximum HP. Yeah, you do have that con bonus. That's always nice. Okay.
Yep.
Any idea what spell you want? Your next level will be at 60k for level 7.
School. Okay, what's third level?
If you want to think about it, we can roll it at the beginning of the session next time.
No, I think I'll go lightning bolt.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for that. You are a specialist, and you have... I don't think you took Thaumaturgy or Scribe, did you?
I have 100%, but I automatically learn this.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. Yes, indeedy. We just need a pages roll for it. And... you also get a non-weapon slot. Okay, 2 pages.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Actually, I think yeah, I did that wrong. I'm sorry. That one is correct. 7 pages.
Oh,
I rolled
okay.
it as a level 1 spell by accident.
Yep, that you did. Okay, 7 pages. Actually, you're out of pages.
I have 2 books.
Okay, you might want to put this into your new book, because you won't have room in your old one.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
Okay. And any feedback from the other players for me? Could I have sped anything up or automated something to make it roll smoother or faster or anything like that? Nothing? Okay.
Who's still here?
Brian Jarrett is.
Yeah, I'm here still.
Oh,
It was fine. It's
Okay.
just that got separated a bit, so I had a bit harder time to participate without leaving the area. Didn't want to bounce from one side to the other one constantly.
Yeah.
So that's why my RP died a little bit towards the end.
Yeah. Is your second one called Candlelit Volume 2?
Yep.
Okay.
It's under my character in the journal thing.
Okay. You just probably don't read that one as often as Candlelit Volume 1, so I'll just leave that in your bio.
Next level gets even more fun.
Yeah. And you're about to sleep too, so next session you'll have quite a few spell slots filled with level 3 spells, like three spell slots, I think. Fill with level 3 spells.
Yeah, I need to see what my if I go up in anything.
Yeah, you
I get 1 extra 3rd level spell. That's all.
yeah. So you should have a total of 3 third level spells because you're a specialist.
Yep. 3 second level and 5 first level.
Yep. And of
I
course,
didn't realize the second level spells go up so slowly.
yeah.
Can I ask you about the process of doing a signature spell?
Let's see. Signature spell. Oh, it takes proficiencies. Wow.
Yeah, it takes my non-weapon proficiency.
Yeah. Okay. Choosing a signature spell. A signature spell must be a spell that the character already knows and is able to cast. A first level wizard couldn't select Fireball, although he could choose an appropriate first level spell from his book. If the character is a specialist wizard, he may only select signature spells from the school of his specialty. Since specialist wizards must select their signature spells from their own field of study, they find it easier to narrow their specialization down to a single spell. Learning a signature spell. In order for a wizard to gain the skill and practice necessary for a signature spell, he must spend a great deal of time and money studying every aspect of the enchantment. For all intents and purposes, this is the equivalent of spell research. So you have to have some free time. The character must spend a minimum of 2 weeks and 1d10 times 100 GP per spell level. So 1d10 times 300 GP. To master the signature spell, must succeed in a learn spells check to succeed in his studies. If the wizard fails, he still knows how to cast the spell normally, but he can never use it as a signature spell. Wow, never use it as a signature spell. The character's proficiency slots or character points are not expended if he fails. Specialist wizards may apply their spell research bonus to their learn spells roll to develop a signature spell. And signature spell cost table 9 spells and magic. Cost CP's mage slots 2. Specialist slots 1. So you would take 1 non-weapon slot for fireball if that's what you wanted. And
But I need to.
you have to spend time. Yeah.
Downtime.
Spell research, I think, is 1 week per spell level, so 3 weeks. And then 1d10 times 300 GP. And that will... first of all, the wizard casts his signature spell as if he were 2 levels higher for purposes of damage, duration, area of effect, range, and all other level-based characteristics. The spell has no level-based characteristics. Charm person, for instance. The wizard can choose to inflict a saving throw penalty of -2 on the subject's saving throw when he casts a spell. Secondly, the wizard may memorize 1 casting of the signature spell at no cost in spells available at that level. In other words, the character gains the specialist wizard benefit of memorizing additional spells. For example, a first level mage. Okay, if the character is a specialist invoker, he can memorize 3 first level spells: magic missile, second invocation, and first level spell he normally receives as a first level wizard. Okay, so you basically gain an extra spell slot for that spell. Note the character in this example could choose to spend his discretionary spells to memorize a total of 3 magic missiles, which wouldn't be a bad move considering that he's so good at casting it. Role-playing signature spells. A wizard with a signature spell often becomes notorious for his use of the spell. Everyone recalls stories of the transmuter who polymorphed folks into frogs, or the fire mage who threw fireballs left and right. The DM should encourage the player to develop his character's motivations for becoming so skilled with one particular enchantment. So yeah, just come up with some kind of reason. I'm sure that burn on your face is a good reason for your backstory to, and then, add it into your backstory. And once you can complete that 3 weeks of downtime and the 1d10 times 300
thought
GP.
it said it took the signature spells took 2 weeks, but I might be wrong. What book is that?
Spells and Magic, same spell book, or same book. Research, find spell. Come on. Control F. Spell research. Spell research, spells and magic. Cost of spell research.
Oh, must spend a minimum of 2 weeks. Okay. So yeah, it would be 3 weeks then, probably. And I have a chance to cut that in half.
Oh, because you have the research proficiency? That's good. So, yep, that's going to take some downtime. Which, I mean, if you can convince the party to take some downtime, you know.
Well, I can't research a spell out in the middle of nowhere, right?
Yeah, you need a library, and a lab, and then you know, you need the downtime, you need the money, and you need peace and quiet. So, if your friends, you know, bother you, it costs you like a week or something. And yeah, it's a process that's not impossible. Obviously, the dice rolls are there for you because you're a specialist and all that, and you have the right proficiency for it. So, you know, you can easily get it done. All it takes is, you know, role-playing the convincing of the other players to, you know, wait. So that's pretty much it.
And I should at least start casting some fireballs before I decide to make that my signature spell.
Yeah.
Because I haven't actually rested
since you've gotten to level 5, yeah.
Since I got to level 5.
Which is a good problem to have, you know, gaining a couple levels in between rests. So yeah, it'll take about an hour to memorize those 2 spells on the third shift. So there's that, and then once you do, you'll have those 2 spells in your locked in your brain pan there, and you can start shooting people with fireballs and go fireball happy. This is the stencil that I use for fireballs. Spell AoE wizard W3 fireball.
Oh, that's fun.
Bam, and then it turns into ashes. And you can see you should be able to see the round red aura.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the area of effect. So in order to affect somebody, you have to put that circle such that it covers half or more of their square. So like if you wanted to hit Brian Druid, that would not work because it doesn't cover up more than half of one of his squares. But this definitely would work because it covers up more than half of the front square. Because he takes up
horse size, right?
Yeah, he takes up these 2 squares, right?
Yeah.
Unless I extend my tail, then I'll take a much more square.
Well, it's your body is what counts. So
yeah, exactly.
But this would not hit him. This would.
That would.
And again, that would not hit him. But that would. Defo.
Yeah.
Defo. This one, that will hit him. Because that's more than half the square. So, sometimes you just have to play it by ear depending on how big the circle is. But you can see kind of how the spell falls in there.
Yeah. I'll make use of it, and maybe sing some of the party by accident.
I think some people in the party are immune to it, so.
Oh.
Possibly.
Is it
I'm not sure. I think some people had a spell called fire resistance or something like that. There's some kind of weird spell that makes people's equipment unburnable, and it gives them like a +2 to their saving throw versus magical fire or whatever whenever they're wearing that item or holding it. Might be like fire resistance or burn resistance or something like that. It's like a level 4 or 5 spell. No, Asheras are not immune to fire.
Okay.
So, yeah. Their immunities are few and far between. They're immune to, like, gas, and that's about it, I think, because they don't actually breathe.
Interesting.
Yeah. But, okay. Any other feedback for me?
One question, but if you're in a hurry, it can totally wait until another session.
Not in a hurry. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask you about training the cockatrice once it hatches.
Uh-huh.
Is that gonna take me a whole month of downtime?
So, no. So the way training works is you have to have a proficiency that is dedicated to whatever race the monster is. So cockatrice, cockatrice is obviously cockatrice, but cockatrice would work with both cockatrice and pyralisk. Okay. And it's a 1-slot proficiency for warriors, and I think for you it would be 2 slots. And it depends on the intelligence of the creature, how many tricks you can teach them, or general traits, or general things or whatever. It's all in the player's handbook, and I try to follow it to a T. Go ahead.
I mean to... Here, let me just find the proficiency.
Luckily, they are neutrally aligned, and they have animal intelligence, so you can train them to behave, and like a dog would.
No, animal training is general, so it's only 1 for me.
Animal training is general. Okay.
It's animal lore that's for warriors only.
Okay, let's see. Browse. And player's handbook. Proficiencies. So you're looking at level 9. You would be able to spend, because you wanted to spend your non-weapon on your signature spell, right? Unless you have one that's unspent right now from level 3.
No, the weapon... Wait, what?
Do you have an unspent one from level 3?
The signature spell uses my non-weapon. My weapon proficiency.
Your weapon proficiency?
It uses either weapon or non-weapon.
But you don't have a weapon proficiency that's unspent, right? Do you?
I do. I just leveled up to level 6.
Very nice. Wizard. Yep, okay. Yeah, you get a weapon and non-weapon at level 6. Okay. Very nice. Animal training. Yep, you could do that right now, and... Oh, wait. I need to check how many slots it is. I'm sure it's 1 slot.
Yeah,
you can do
I
that right
have
now.
it.
So animal training, cockatrice, in parentheses, and then 1 slot, and it
Yeah.
takes wisdom, and the check is probably 0, but don't put 0. You could put +0 if you wanted, but I would just leave it blank.
Yeah, I left it blank.
Okay.
But it says wild animals can be tamed only when very young. Obviously, this is very young. The taming takes 1 month of uninterrupted work, though, with the creature. So does that mean 1 month of downtime?
No. No.
No.
No.
Okay. I'm
Um,
just with the creature all the time, so.
yeah. General task is like obey your command to attack.
Yeah.
To take a rider.
I was just wondering whether it was if I needed a month of downtime to do that or
No.
not, because that would change it greatly.
No. It's you just have to spend so many hours a day for 3 months training him. So maybe the hour before
For 1 month to try and tame a wild animal.
It says training for a general task requires 3 months of uninterrupted work.
Read the last paragraph.
Yeah, but that doesn't train him to do anything. That's just to tame them.
I know, but won't I need to tame the cockatrice?
So you're saying you want to spend 4 months taming and then training it to do something instead of just 3 months?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what you would want me to. I don't know how you.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what I'm
That's
asking.
when you make the proficiency check. Okay. If successful, the beast is suitable for training. Oh, okay, yeah. It does take a month to see if they're suitable for training. If the check fails, creature retains enough of its wild behavior to make it untrainable. Yeah. It can be kept, though. It must. I hope you have a high wisdom.
Nope.
No?
No.
Oh, man. This might all be a waste. Are you sure you want to go through with it? Yeah, you're going to have basically like a 50% chance.
I don't get any pluses for having avian sage knowledge to
I'll give it.
helping me
I'll
raise
give it. I'll give it a +1. Yeah, I'll give it a
Okay.
+1.
It's worth it
Yeah.
for
'Cause
me,
wait,
just for fun.
How many slots was avian sage knowledge?
2.
I'll give it a +2. Yeah. So that is a 60% chance. Are you sure you want to go through with it?
Yep.
Okay.
It's fun. Why not?
Alright. Yeah, why not? Okay. That would be pretty cool having a pet that was a trained attack
Cockatrice.
cockatrice, yeah.
I mean, and I can always try and find a pyrolisk egg later.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Okay.
Mom, what is that statue? Oh, it is a reminder of why you should not try to raise cockatrice as your pet.
Shit.
It wouldn't. I don't think it gains that ability until.
It will imprint itself on you by looking at you.
Yeah, I was wondering if It's a bird, and they imprint, so shouldn't that also change it?
Any other questions, concerns, comments? We got your spell. We got your cockatrice proficiency and your signature spell thing. We rolled HP.
Yeah, I have.
And you
one.
recorded it.
I have one open non-weapon and one open weapon.
From
Leveling up.
you should have spent those, right? Let's see.
Well, I can't spend the non-weapon until I do the research.
You mean weapon?
Yeah.
Okay. Level 6. There we go. And then animal training, cockatrice, sage knowledge, avian, zoology, 2 slots. Sure.
But I still have... I start with 4. I get +7 from my intellect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So...
I'm just going to put a +2 into your animal training cockatrice right now.
okay.
And then, because you have, well, I don't think that would go
No,
backwards.
+5.
I don't think that should go backwards. Animal training cockatrice wouldn't cross over into avian zoology.
No.
Uh,
Okay, wait. Do I have one open non-weapon? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I get 5 from my intelligence, 4 from leveling. Got 1 at level 3, and 1 at level 6. Yeah, I have 1 open one.
uh, 5 from intelligence. And initial was 4, so that's 9. And you should have 11 total. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So open slot level 6.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Just didn't want you to think I was just kept adding them.
Okay. I actually have had a player that did that. He kept adding proficiencies
Oh.
on his own and raising his stats. And I had a screenshot of his original stats. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Why is that like that? That was actually just recently, within the last year.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you could add non-weapon sneakily, but I don't feel like you can increase your stats sneakily.
Yeah, you can. I mean, if you just raise 1 by 1, you know, I probably wouldn't catch it. Or like even 3 of them by 1, I probably wouldn't catch it. Or even 2. But you know, when the guy's
It matters
stats,
how high it is, I guess.
the guy's stats were all, you know, like 2 or 3 above what they were supposed to be. I was like, why is his strength, constitution, and dexterity all like 17? I don't think he rolled that. And then I checked, and it was like, no, your stats are this. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other
That's all.
questions,
Thank
concerns,
you.
comments? Okay. Could I have sped anything up or automated anything further to make things more efficient?
No, I think everything went well.
All right. Thank you very much for playing, guys. I'll see you. Well. Oh, okay. It's just you and me.
It's just you.
Yeah. See you tomorrow night in Wesley's
Yeah.
game. All right. Have a good one. See you then.
You too. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. And for our viewers, please like, share, and subscribe. If you're watching us on YouTube, please leave a comment. Oh, hey, stay tuned for reruns as well. We got reruns coming right up after this, starting with Solynod Hex session 291, followed by this session 292, and then it'll roll into Mystara, and then what's it called? Thunder Rift. Okay. And if you like who we are and like what we do, I strongly suggest checking out our links to Patreon and PayPal. For obvious reasons I won't get into. Anything helps. Anything helps. Likes on YouTube, comments on YouTube, subscribes on YouTube, donations on PayPal, subscriptions on Patreon. Just share the videos with your friends. You know, I think users can make highlights. If you are a what's it called, a moderator on my Twitch channel, I think you can make highlights of my videos and you can share them with your friends. So some particularly boneheaded moments on my part where I fuck up or something, you know, or you know, say something really funny with an NPC with a voice changer, things like that. But I'll be back tomorrow night with Thunder Rift, I think, if Wesley isn't working. So, you know, heaven forbid, there's COVID out there. He's a nurse, so stuff happens. But we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.